Hello and welcome to the Red Bull Ring for the Nations Cup Exhibition Series Round 3. Now, unfortunately, there is no qualifying in this video. It didn't work when I recorded it and I forgot to save the replay. So here we are with the grid. GI Johnny in pole and Valimo in second. This is a Group 2 race. Jurgen there in third. And you'll find most of the cars being used are either the Motul Ortec GTR with Chris 69 VGA or AU Tom's RCF. They're most of the cars that people decide to use in the Group 2 category racing. Or that one there, the Raybrigg NSX Concept GT. So there's usually three cars that you'll likely find. As we watch 8th and 9th, Dan Ono 007 in 9th there, MMS Seb 33 in 10th, and Laka 24 in 11th, Poland, El Mikey 67 in 12th, CBC 2679 in 13th, and there I am in 14th in my Motul Ortec GTR. We have Sancroderi in 15th behind me, Scope Brizta in 16th, Fly Fingo in 17th, Messenger Gamer from Britain 18th, and Ian 07 in 19th, or Lan. And it looks like the 20th man had dropped out, so there's 19 races. Here we are starting in 13th at this Red Bull Ring in Speilbergs. It's a rolling start, so we'll get moving. Here we go in auto drive, and hopefully I won't be on an apex of a bend somewhere as we start the race proper. One, and here we go. So round the first corner we go, and heading down the long straight to first tight right-hander. Pick your braking point, turn in nicely. You can run a little wide there, up to and not over these kind of sausage curbs really, although sometimes it does give you more leniency on exits rather than entrances, and also gives you a bit more leniency, it seems to, on the first corner of the first race. So here we're going up to the tight hairpin, and just managed to squeeze around the inside there. So we're up a place into 13th already. Someone's got a 1 second penalty ahead of us, so that might come into play on the next lap round. And we head down to lost track of which turns all these numbers are, because there are some turns that are numbered which aren't really a turn anymore, they're still flat out, like up that big long straight stretch to the hairpin at the top. So I think the hairpin is technically turn 3, I believe, but realistically it's just the second turn. So here we are coming through the infield, and okay, so there's 2 penalty zones here. There's the second one, so there's that guy serving his 1 second penalty. So we've just passed him, but he's just now, you see, he just put me off my corner there, because he came back to being solid just as I was anticipating maybe going through him. So I had to be careful there a little bit. Didn't manage to quite get past him, but now we've got a tow down this straight, and there we go, indeed I pull out. Or can I make it past him on this first corner? So we brake later, and yes, stuck it to the outside and up to 12. What is he going to do behind me going up to the hairpin though? Is he going to get anything back? Is he going to outbrake me? Let's have a look. He's had a little look. He's gone to the outside, and oh wow, so okay, the 2 cars behind me sort of messed each other up's corner there, but he got another second penalty, a 1 second penalty that El Mikey did there, so I don't know whose fault that was. So we're up 2 places so far. Oh, as somebody goes, oh, I'm a bit wide there. So there's a bit of a whole mess going on behind me, so that's allowed me to pull away a little bit. In fact, that car's now got a 3 second penalty, so maybe it was all a bit argy-bargy back there. So we've got a good first sector, as we did, everyone would do on the second lap. with it not being your out lap. You're going to get better lap times. Well, you're supposed to get better lap times unless you have a horrendous second lap. So anyway, we've come around the final corner. Now onto the start-finish straight for the second time. And we'll have a look at the lap times. So that's more like it, a 1:26.1. I think I was in the 1:24s in free practice. I didn't get into the 1:23s at all. I think in free practice I got into the 1:24, so hopefully we'll see some faster laps. But it is never quite the same when you're racing in traffic, because you've got to, slow down behind them or find a way around them, which is obviously slower. As a brake from a long way back there. Am I going to get that place? Yes, I did. Wow, that was an all. Oh, and someone spins off there. I've done that before. I know what that feels like. But yeah, that was braking from a long way back. That was a great manoeuvre. Like that one. So now we're up into 10th. Can we look down the inside here? No, not quite. He just tags me as he pulls around the corner. That's alright. So, up 4 places. And we're only on lap 3. I won't speak too soon. But so far so good. Of course, last time I raced here it was in one of the lower classes of cars, category of cars, in an actual lesser GTR I believe, as that guy's greyed out again, probably from another penalty. Same guy I think it was. This time I managed to get past him, but either he nudged me or I went wide myself there, which has allowed Danono 007 to get past. So we're still in 10th, but there's now a different 9th place person. In fact, he's still there, come up the inside. So Messenger Gamer, well done for that manoeuvre. It might not actually be the same car. Obviously, if no one's changed the liveries, then a lot of the cars do look the same. I should have looked at the name rather than the car. But anyway, here we go. We're in 11th. We haven't looked down the inside at this corner again. And we do get a slightly better exit. He went a little bit wide there, did Danono. So we've got a better exit there and a better corner. So back into 10th. Got the Brit ahead of us. Now he started a long way down. So he's had a great start so far. He was somewhere about 18th, I think he was. So 4 places behind me. He's had a great start. Well done him, fellow Brit. We always like to cheer them on regardless. So we've got Danono right behind us, coming through this fast infield section. That's where the Verstappen stand would be in the Formula 1 races. Let's have a look at the exterior camera shots. You see my livery of the car there. I've tried to make it quite a standardised livery across any car that I race now, so you can all recognise me. And we've got a new logo, a new decal on there for Team Sport UK, where you'll have maybe seen Isaac racing karting videos. That's at Team Sport in Hull. He's raced at Stockton as well. You can watch those videos on our other playlist if you go to our channel. But yeah, Team Sport, UK's karting company. We have a lot of good races and good times there. So check it out if you want some real life races, shall we say. Now someone else has gone wide there, so that's up into 9th. Not sure who that was. Jean Mio 6 or something, I think that was. So that's probably him who went off. He's been overtaken by a few now. So there we go. There's that Team Sport decal I was telling you about. And the subscribe decal as well. So if you're watching this, I would really appreciate a subscribe if you want to continue to watch the races I put on. Just a bit of entertainment, light entertainment for you on whenever it may be. So here we go. So coming around to the final couple of corners to end lap 5. And here we go down onto the straight. So not a bad race so far. Again, I don't want to speak too soon. I certainly won't hold my breath. But we've kept it clean so far, and keeping it clean. Usually you're going to gain some places or some time when others around you don't. I'm not saying everyone's going to make mistakes, but it's quite often that some people in the race do, and you've got to be there to capitalise on that. No, I watch my friends race around here. Mickey BLK. I'll put a link to his profile down there. I watched his race yesterday. He had a great win in his race here. So well done to you, Mickey. Mikey, how you pronounce it, you'll have to let me know sometime. Well done you. And you saw us just going a little bit wide there, a little bit ragged out of that hairpin. So we've lost a few places there now, unfortunately back into 12th. Tyres screeching around the corner. The tyres we have to use in this race are mediums and hards, racing mediums and hards, so there will be pit stops. And I plan, well, I was in two minds, either to make 2 stints on mediums with a last lap on hards. Oops, there's someone else who's, they're just coming back to not being solid again, right at the wrong time there. So you just want to hit the apex and they come back solid right on the apex. That's a bit awkward, that was. There's a little bit of contact made between us, but it certainly wasn't intentional, and I hope he didn't take it personally. So yeah, so either 2 stints on mediums, 8 laps each, with the final lap on hards. That was one option I had. The other option was just to, on lap 8, just change for the hards. I did do some practice on hards, and after you get rid of the first couple of laps out of the way, they do become a bit more stable. You just got to be careful on those first couple of laps on them. So we're in two minds at the moment what to do. 2 pit stops with 2 stints on mediums, or just the one changing to hards at halfway. So we'll see what happens around us and see whether it denotes, it forces our hand as it were. So we've made up another place since our little mistake. We're up in 10th again. And like I say, it was only a mistake which cost me those positions, not someone overtaking me. So although I'm annoyed with myself for making the mistake, it's not like I'm driving badly. I'm not really having slow lap times. We've obviously had some slow ones because of traffic, but there we are. Lap 5 was actually a 1:25.0, which I don't think is too bad at all. I think the top drivers around here are getting like 1:21s, and I don't expect to get close to that really, not yet, not with my experience and practice and time behind the wheel. So being 4 seconds off the top guys, I'm quite pleased about. No! Oh no! Oh, that's an awful place to make a mistake. I've never had a mistake at that corner, certainly not like that. And I'll let you into a little secret now. Rather than risk spinning like you've probably seen me in the past, I actually cheated a little bit and I put it onto the kind of the pause menu. When you put on the pause menu, you kind of the computer takes over and it gets you going again. Unfortunately, what it did there, it actually gave way to traffic on the track. So I went out of the frying pan into the fire with that one. I thought I'd get away with a bit of an easier getaway, having the computer do it for me, rather than spinning around in circles, and he actually gave way to other cars on the track, so I probably lost out just as much. But still, not a good result, not a good experience, so I won't try and shortcut again. So we're back in 15th now after that second mistake, and we are pitting at the end of this. It could have been the tyres possibly, but I think really it was just an unforced error off the exit of that turn 1. So we're coming in for tyres now, end of lap 8, and because of what we've just had experience, that's what we're going to do. We're going to pit for hards. Oh, I nearly missed my pit entrance there. We're going to put hards on, and we're going to plan to go all the way to the end now. Again, we can always put mediums back on if things change again, but the plan now, because of that mistake, we don't want to have to come through the pits again. So we're going to hopefully get these cold tyre laps out of the way, event free hopefully, and leave these on to the end of the race. Now I've got a track penalty there, and I believe that was for the way I entered the pits, cutting across all those red markings. So unfortunately I'm going to have to slow down around this next corner. Now that was probably my own fault as well, because I watched one of the racing videos of the lap guides on YouTube for this race, even though I know the track myself quite well. But I was just seeing if I could get any more pointers, and I watched this one guy. You might have seen him. He's called Mr. MC, I think he is, and he did that in his lap guide, and I thought, oh, that's a quick way of getting into the pits. I did notice he had a half a second penalty when he exited the pits, but I didn't put the 2 and 2 together until I did the same thing. So if you're watching this and you're racing at Red Bull, don't cut across the red markings prior to the pits. You will get half a second penalty when you come out. There's my free bit of unsolicited advice for you if you're ever racing here again. So where are we now? We've settled down now. We've lost another place, unfortunately. Maybe, well, it was when I was in the pits, obviously. I think I came out in 17th, I believe. I've been talking too much and waffling too much now, but 16th, 17th, whichever. We're now in 16th, and we've got rid of the out lap in a 1:26, so not a bad time either on those hard tyres, with cold hard tyres. So fingers crossed for this next lap, keep it together, and then we should be okay on these tyres now. They should have warmed up nicely. See if I can get any more places back by any means necessary. And when I say that, I don't mean by crashing, I mean by other guys coming into the pits or what have you. The guy up the road, El Mikey, looking at the little track circuit in the corner in the blue triangle, looks to be quite a way ahead of me now, maybe 5 or 6 seconds, so I'm going to have to do some catching up and hope for others' mistakes, unfortunately, while trying to keep it clean myself. We're coming through the infield again. I'd like to see them put the Verstappen stand in with all this orange glory in that inside of that turn there. That'd be a nice thing to have, a feature to have. We've got grandstands over in the far the other track side, but to have the Verstappen standing would be nice. Oh, so what's going to happen now? We've gained a position there, but I didn't actually see me overtake anybody. There is someone in the pits, but that wouldn't have been the cause of it because I wasn't anywhere near the pits, and I think possibly someone dropped out of the race. But there was someone in the pits, so now I'm closer to 14th, having made up that place. So we don't even know how. So we're coming once again through what is probably turn 2, but it's flat out anyway. So the real turn 2, if not the official one. There, the hairpin, and down again. So now we see we are closer to those guys up ahead now because of their pit stops. We're assuming it's because of their pit stops. So let's see if we can catch them. We have this lap and 6 more to go, doing some quick maths there. This lap and 6 others to go. So we're like 2/3 all the way through the race. And we are looking at, we're 25.9, so on these hard tyres, they're not that much slower. I mean, there might have been some people trying to get the whole way race on these hard tyres. Yeah, that's correct actually. Yeah, the mediums, you didn't have to use the mediums in the race, but they were available for the duration of the event, so you could use them in qualifying. So you didn't have to use the mediums in the race, that's correct, so I'm correcting myself from earlier. The only requirement in the race was hards. The mediums were still available because they allowed you to use it in qualifying, and therefore that carried through to the race. So there may be some people trying to go the whole 17 laps on the hard, but they would probably struggle at the end. And I'm actually a 10th up in that first sector. Sorry, 2/10 up in that first sector. I do find that first corner, when I get it right, I am quite capable of going through there with some decent sector times, but it's probably this midfield section that I usually lose out on. It's slightly more technical than just that first corner. So, but still, I love the track, watching it and driving it, even if only virtually. And yes, of course, I'd love to go there and drive it. Have a track day there, that would be awesome, as any track day would at these famous circuits. So we've caught up to the back of 14th at the moment. It's Jurjan from Russia, I believe, that flag. Now This, well, I really felt was a bit unfair because you heard me slightly collide with him, but he was coming into the pit, so he was probably, well, you can watch it again and again if you like. I just felt it was a little bit unjust. Yes, we collided, but he was kind of coming into the pits at that point, so he was probably not in the place where I would have expected him to be. It was the slightest of contacts, and it didn't hinder either of us. But I've got a 2-second penalty for it. So feel free to be your own judge of that. I have my own feelings on it, but there's nothing I can do. I'm going to have to serve this 2-second penalty. And hopefully, yes, the guys behind me are further away than 2 or 3 seconds. So I've kept the 14th place that I gained when Jerjan did go in the pits. Oh, I've run a little bit wide there on that. I think that's turn 9 again from memory. I like to say that's turn 9. It's where obviously we saw Bottas going off in qualifying. We've seen Albon go off after his collision with, or coming together with Hamilton. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that was turn 9 there. I went a bit wide, a little bit into the gravel, but still just managed to hold on to 14th place. But Jerjan, wasn't that him who went in the pits on the last lap? He's really caught back up again. You lose about 6 or 7 seconds. I think it's about 7 seconds you lose in the pits. Bear in mind, we don't have to refuel for this. There was no refueling required whatsoever. It was quite more than capable of doing the 17 laps. It was only ×2 usage. So he's going in the pits. He's lost 7 seconds, and there he is, about 2 behind me. But then I did have a little scuffy lap at turn 9, which cost me, well, it looks like that lap cost me 4 seconds. I don't think it was just on that one incident. Oh, it was, of course, penalty and the little excursion into the gravel on turn 9 cost me 4 seconds on that lap, hence why he's only 2 or 3 behind me. So we're running in 14th. We've got this one and 3 more laps to go. Obviously 14th is where I started. At one point I was in the top 10. Again, mistakes of my own. That's what I'm going to try and iron out of my game. Whether it was lack of concentration or what, but I've got to try and iron out those mistakes. It's only usually 1 or 2 in a race, and it's not every race. You've seen me make some victories. I'm sure you have, those of you that are watching regularly. If you haven't, click on that subscribe, go to the playlists, and there are several victories in there that I've had, or even just great races where I haven't made mistakes, victories or not. But yes, I've got to try and work out what I'm doing wrong when I make the mistakes. As Jerjan now comes up the inside, so I can't take the apex. I've got to give him room. He's gone wide. So I've come back in front of him. Have I come back in front of him? Yes, I have come back. He went wide, outbraked himself a little bit. So that was a nice little move from him, and then I stick to my own line. I do what I know is right and let him make the mistake. So that was okay. Of course, you could have taken the inside line and oh, that's giving it back to him there. You're a bit squirmish on the exit of that corner. Fortunately, didn't spin like I've done before at that corner, but now that has definitely given him that 14th place. And now we're actually 1 place down in my starting position, and it's all been through my own mistakes. Just little mistakes here and there, and it cost me. What was I, up in 9th, 10th? No, I was over 9th at one point, wasn't I? So I know you guys, you like to do as well as you can, but as long as there aren't people bashing into you all around the race, and hopefully you don't feel like I'm doing that as well. Hopefully, however your race is gone, wherever you finish, I hope you enjoy the races, because I certainly do. I think they're awesome. I think the realism behind them is brilliant, from the lack of grip you get with tyres wearing out to the increased cornering speeds you can do and the later braking you can do when the fuel runs down. I just love it. I really do. I think it's great. It's the best set of racing game and racing series that I've played. I did try that Project Cars 2. I downloaded a demo of that. I wasn't going to pay for it until I knew if I liked it or not, and I downloaded the demo and I didn't like it at all. Maybe you guys can comment if you know any other decent sim games. I know this PlayStation friend Mickey BLK, he mentioned the Assetti Corsa Competizione or something. I haven't managed to get my hands on that yet, but looking at the reviews, it does look like it's a very in-depth sim with much settings to fiddle about with. I'll probably make things worse if I started fiddling about too much with all the settings rather than making it better, but we'll try and get a copy of that and have a look into that at some point. But yeah, I do like the engine, the gameplay of this. I like well, I just think it's great. It's good enough for Lewis Hamilton when he's you can watch his time spent with the game developer on the PlayStation in the game. You've got a video to look at when he drove around the Nürburgring GP circuit. And if he likes it, it can't be that bad, can it? So here we are, having looked down into 14th again, fly finger this time, but I think I barged way into second a bit too far out, and he wasn't expecting it. And possibly I broke myself a little bit too, but so he did the same with me as I did on Jurjan a lap ago. So keeping it steady around there, a little wobble from him, but I wasn't able to capitalise on that. I say we have some great races, some great battles with individuals in those races, and for the most of it, it does all really clean, like this here, close, clean racing. It's what makes the game enjoyable for me. I really don't enjoy some of the daily races that I play when some of the races in that aren't as clean, and they really do just barge their way through, knocking anybody out the way they have to. But these bigger, more competitive races, the driving is a lot cleaner, and it's a lot more enjoyable. So coming around the corner of the final lap in 15th, so not the best result I've ever had. Again, it's my own mistakes that have given me this, so I can't complain at anyone else. So a good race, hope you enjoyed it. There was some overtaking in there, it was clean overtakes. I didn't scroll down at this point so you can't see me, but there we are in 15th. So thanks very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll look forward to seeing you in round 4.